Alright, what's up guys? It's Dan from the Media Bros. In case you're wondering why it looks so much different, first of all, we actually have a camera. So I'm very excited to bring you the show from our brand new camera. It's not great right now, but just understand that this is what we could actually afford at the time. Second of all, that this is my place. This is my apartment that I have with my girlfriend, or as everyone knows by now, it's my lady. So I'm very excited to be filming right here, and this is actually my space, my spare bedroom right now. In case you can't tell, I'm also trying to decorate this place because eventually I also want to do filming. I want to film here and everything. So in case you can't tell, there is actually a Doctor Strange poster right here. I also have another Captain America poster over there, but I'm also trying to decorate this room with some memorabilia to make it look more like a little bit of a set. So thank you guys for understanding, and once again, unfortunately I'm all by myself this week, so it's a little sad. I'm sorry everybody, I'm alone, but it's okay. I'm alright. I'm happy to come with you guys with a show this week because I want to be able to talk and stuff, and I figured what I do is I go over some of the bigger stuff that I thought was important this week, as well as maybe do a little Q&A and maybe let you guys in on some of the stuff that I'm trying to do with this, and give you guys a little insight into just Dan. Just Dan. Just me. It's just me. Alright. Well, I don't have a fancy desk or anything just yet, so I figured my computer's going to be on my lap for the majority of the time, so I'm sorry about that. So, without further ado, let's get on to the show this week. Man, that glare is making me look like a creepo. Welcome to the show. Alright, so let's start off with the basic. We actually got a preview. Entertainment Weekly put out their magazine, and I'm excited to have it because I know my mom gets Entertainment Weekly, so I'm excited to see some pictures. But in case you guys didn't know, DC released pictures of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman all together, and they're in full uniform and everything. And they also released a picture of Lex Luthor, but I'll get to that last. I was very excited to see the three together on one page. It almost made me feel a little giddy, even though the only one I really care about is Batman, because I love Batman. Sorry about that. That was my phone, and that's ESPN giving me an alert that the Red Sox are losing again, which sucks. To the Astros. God, they suck. So, back to DC. Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman are all on the same cover. The only one I care about is Batman. I'm sorry, no hate towards Wonder Woman or Superman. You're not as cool as the Bats. I mean, you're also just not human. I have more understanding of Batman's past and everything, so I understand where he's coming from. So I'm sorry. Superman, you're still pretty cool, even though you're the most powerful being in the entire universe, both everywhere. Not tougher than Deadpool. That would be interesting. Everyone's always trying to pair up Superman with Goku, and I always get I understand the pairing, they're both really super powerful, and I'd love to see them fight, but I'm kind of tired of the whole Superman Goku thing. Why don't you take Superman versus Deadpool? You can't tell me that Deadpool wouldn't be well, can you imagine him taking off Deadpool's head and he's just dude, I'm not dead right now. I'm Deadpool. You want a chimichanga? Hello, audience! Oh boy. Oh boy. But yeah, it was very exciting. Although Batman, to me, I'm sorry, I love Ben Affleck. Batman to me looks a little weird. I mean, he just, Ben Affleck is this dude, and I know he's a tall dude and everything, and he definitely kills it as Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, I would think, is amazing for Ben Affleck. I can't see him as Batman. Batman looks like he's on some kind of steroids. It almost looks like they just kind of tried to inject him the super soldier serum from Captain America, even though it's two different separate universes. But other than that, oh boy, who's texting me now? Yes, I'm doing the show right now. Oh god, so annoying, so unprofessional. How's the show going? Oh, it's going good. Can you let me do my stuff? I'm sorry about that. I'll edit that out. So, Stop texting me! Alright, so, but yeah, Batman looks like he's just like on some like super soldier stuff, which is weird. And I understand they're trying to go for the Dark Knight Returns look, and he's like big and beefed up in that one. I mean, I don't know. I'm always more of a traditional Batman guy. I think he can be strong without being like super jacked. I love the Dark Knight Returns run, but I'm just not a big fan of Ben Affleck as a bigger guy. Continuing on, we also saw a picture of Lex Luthor. Now, everyone has been very hesitant about this picture. Myself kind of personally like it. It definitely brought me back to the Gene Hackman days of Superman, and when he had Gene Hackman was the original Lex Luthor in the original Superman movie. He kind of had a fro in that. I know everyone's gonna think he's ridiculous because it wasn't Lex Luthor, but I mean, let's be honest here. It was a pretty good movie. Other than that, I mean, everyone always reveres the very first Superman movie, so I loved it. It still holds up till today. So I just think Jesse Eisenberg, personally, I want to say he's going to crush it, but I can't really have full 100% faith in it. He's Jesse Eisenberg. I'm just going to like, cool, why does Mark Zuckerberg have a problem with freaking Superman? I don't understand. But I definitely like I know everyone's saying it looks like a wig. I like the hair. I think he kind of looked a little bit like a douchebag, which is what Lex Luthor is. He's kind of a douche. In like the smallest term, he's like a douchebag. I know he's more of a jackass than a douchebag, but he's kind of a douchebag. So I'll be very excited to see him take on Superman, and I'll be very excited to see how he loses hair or something. Maybe it could be like cancer or something. That would be interesting. Cancer takes his hair. He's just bald. Bald Jesse Eisenberg. Bald Mark Zuckerberg. But I'm very excited, I'm interested to see how DC can now try to ramp up their stuff, because now Marvel is just continues to kill it and kill it and kill it. Although I thought, don't hate me Marvel fanboys, I am a huge Marvel fanboy. I'm even wearing my Captain Awesome shirt, which has Captain America's shield on it. I'm a huge Marvel fan. I did not like Age of Ultron. I just could not wrap my head around it. It just felt like there was too much but not enough. Too much, not enough. There was no explanation to some of the stories, and I don't understand why we only got this movie that was technically shorter than the first one. Why the edits? If Joss Whedon has a full 3-hour cut, 3.5 hour to 4 hour cut of this movie. Why didn't I get that? You have to understand, as a moviegoer, when I'm paying $11, in Massachusetts it's $11. If I'm paying $11, I expect to get my money's worth. I feel like I didn't really get my money's worth for that, even though I used a free movie ticket. I feel like I didn't really get my money's worth, and I would really like to actually see a full cut of it, explaining how Iron Man is Iron Man, what's going on with that, how did he get there so fast, he was automatically built, and I don't know, too many problems. I'm sorry, get back on topic. I'm interested to see how DC will take this. Hopefully they got good directors to really pack a punch and really bring the DC universe to life, and really kind of try to take Marvel at its best. Try to take Marvel one-on-one and just fight. Even though I think Marvel's killing it. That's another thing. Let's move on to Marvel. Marvel actually, a lot of reports are coming in about AntMan. People are saying AntMan's awesome. Man, to me that's such a relief. People kept speculating, they're like, what if this is the downfall of Marvel? If this is AntMan, there's been so many problems around it. This is AntMan. I'm tired of hearing about it. AntMan, if you read in the comic books, I know is technically one of the more lamer superheroes. But personally, to me, I don't think he's that super lame. He has an interesting character depth to him. He's not only can he be small, but he can also be giant man. He's gone through multiple personalities, and I understand that's the Hank Pym side. So I'm interested to see the Scott Lang side of it. I love that they went that way, because could you imagine Hank Pym on the screen, a young Hank Pym just beating Janet Van Dyne across the face? Boy, that would not be perceived well, would it? Oh boy, that would be bad. Oh man, it's tough not having somebody else around me to talk about this stuff. That would be really bad. Man, and all his psychoticness and everything. Hank Pym was like really psychotic in the comic books. So I'm very interested to see him as an older man trying to recruit a new Ant-Man. And I'm glad they went with Scott Lang instead of Eric O'Grady, the unredeemable Ant-Man. Scott Lang to me will actually be a pretty good Ant-Man, and I'm interested to see how he's going to integrate into the Marvel Universe, and I hope he's in more stuff. I'm glad that everyone's saying it's awesome. I'm glad that everyone's saying it's a fun time. You know, I'm very glad that I get to go see Ant-Man in just, what is today? What is today, the 3rd? Just 14 days, literally 2 weeks until Ant-Man. I'm so pumped. I'm probably going to be there in its early release. I'm going to try to get to that review to you guys, but I'm very excited for that. But everyone, also people are saying Michael Pena really kills it in the movie, so I'm really interested to see, because they haven't advertised him a lot, so I'm happy to see how his character kills it in the role. Interested to see who his character is. It would be really cool if they introduced a new character into the Marvel Universe, besides Ant-Man. And I know the Falcon's supposed to be in it too, along with the Avengers apparently. Avengers probably are going to be in it as well. So I'm very excited to see that. Man, that would be cool if they played a scene from Avengers Age of Ultron while Ant-Man's just in the background just trying to steal some stuff and nobody knows he's there. But even with Tony Stark's security protocols. So yeah, I'm very happy that Ant-Man's killing it. I'm very happy. Very, very happy. Speaking of Marvel news, I was also reading on some of Marvel's Netflix series stuff. As you guys know, Netflix has brought Marvel new Marvel shows, and the first one to air was Daredevil, and it just was like, it killed it. Daredevil was so good. I personally loved it. I don't know why everyone had such beef with the suit. I thought the suit actually, I was waiting for the suit. I know people got used to the whole like black, like ninja style type thing, but I was actually very happy that they got the suit. I wanted to see Daredevil in his costume, and I'll be interested to see how he's going to incorporate that costume into fighting the Punisher in the 2nd season, which I'm very excited about. But besides Daredevil, they're also bringing some more of the other characters from the Marvel Universe, which are including Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. Now, next up is actually Jessica Jones, which most people don't know who she is. Let me give you a quick thing on Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones. After coming in contact with experimental chemicals and spending some time in a coma, Jessica emerged with superhuman abilities. She possesses superhuman strength, and while her upper limits have been properly quantified, she has shown herself capable of lifting a 2-ton police car with little apparent effort. Her strength allowed to the giant-sized Goliath by the nostrils. So basically, Jessica Jones. She has super strength. She has super strength. She can also fly. And Jessica was given a degree of psionic protection by Jean Grey. So she has some psionic power. Psionic? Yeah. And on top of that all, she's a skilled detective. It's Batman, but with superpowers. Except it's a girl, too. Oh, in the House of M Marvel comic crossover, Jessica is married to Scott Lang. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, Jessica Jones. Super strength, ability to fly, has some psionic energies around her, and she's just a super detective as well. She's actually the next in line for the Marvel Netflix series. So it'll be interesting to see her, and if you don't know who it is, it's the girl from Don't Just to Be in Apartment 23. I don't remember her name, so it'll be interesting to see. Yes. After that, it's supposed to be Luke Cage. If you don't know who Luke Cage is, I'm sorry. Luke Cage is aka Power Man. Power Man has indestructible skin. So like when he's shooting with bullets and everything, people can't hurt him. He also has super strength, which is awesome. I freaking love Power Man. Power Man's one of my favorites. I like how they're trying to tell me. And he's also the husband of Jessica Jones, so it'll be interesting. What? I have to refer to him as Luke Cage? That's dumb. That's dumb. Yeah, but he possesses superhuman strength and stamina, and he also has an extremely dense skin and muscle tissue, which render him highly resistant to physical injury. Yeah, physical injury. Physical injury. Basically indestructible skin. He cannot get hurt, which is awesome. How he got his powers was pretty fucked up. He was actually captured for a while and was trying to get, injected with stuff and make him powerful. I think he was in the same area as Deadpool, and Deadpool was created as well. So a lot of the people that created some of the cool humans. But Power Man, I'm very excited to see him. Power Man is awesome. Power Man is super strong. He's really cool, and he's also married to Jessica Jones as well, which is interesting. But as I was reading this, no, I want to know Iron Fist. The last one on the line was Iron Fist. Now, everyone who doesn't know who Iron Fist is, he's also part of the Heroes for Hire. Him and Power Man work together. They actually got paid money to take out criminals and stuff, which is very sleazy, but Iron Fist, otherwise known as Daniel Rand. By the way, if people didn't see that in the Daredevil series, there was a nice glimpse of it in one of the B-roll extras. One of the trucks that actually blinded Daredevil was actually a Rand truck. So it's really cool to see that they're crossing this over. Daniel Rand, basically what happened to Daniel Rand was him and his family were on a mountain excursion or something, and as while they were out there, one of the people that they brought with them actually betrayed him and killed his parents, leaving him orphaned. He was luckily able to get away. Unfortunately, he became orphaned, and he actually got, the cool part was he actually got, what's the word I'm looking for? He was basically found by warriors and was trained as a warrior by the Kunlun, who were like super ancient mystical beings. And basically what he did was he trained for his entire life to eventually go fight this dragon, which is I'm trying to see if I can find the name. Xiaolu. There we go, Xiaolu. Xiaolu is basically a dragon who holds the power of the Iron Fist. And basically what he does is he goes to face the dragon, ends up killing the dragon and getting the power of the Iron Fist. Let's see, which burns a dragon tattoo on his chest. Having killed Xiaolu, he enters its cave and plunges his fist into the brazier containing the creature's molten heart, emerging with the power of the Iron Fist. Basically, he's like a mystic warrior. He does fight for money, which is not cool, but he's actually one of the cooler superheroes of that whole group. That being said, I was just reading a rumor on there that the Iron Fist Necklace series is actually having problems. And some of the main problems that it has is like his power source. I'm like, I don't understand how you're not going to be able to bring this to the screen. I think what will help, and take my advice on this one, Marvel, if you're having problems with his power source, I think what will help is, after Doctor Strange comes out, because that's going to be a very mystical movie, aka Doctor Strange. I don't get how they're having problems with this, but yeah, they can't. Yeah, they have no problem with freaking Doctor Strange. I can understand where you might be having trouble with finding villains for him and everything to fight, because I mean you need to have a main antagonist out there and everything. So you might want to focus on more of an origin story. Maybe focus more on how he grew up to become the Iron Fist. And I mean the first 3 episodes at least you could have him be training in the mountains, trying to become Iron Fist. But I think after Doctor Strange comes out, the mystical arts are going to be out there, and it's going to be a lot easier to explain how Daniel Rand gets his powers, and how he gets training and everything, and how he kills this dragon for this mystical power. He's a skilled martial artist. His fists also glow, and he can punch through things. He's so freaking cool. He's one of the cooler superheroes I love. I was very excited for Iron Fist, but it kind of alarms me that they're having problems. So I would definitely, my advice to them is I think save this for after Doctor Strange comes out, because then it'll be able to explain a little bit more stuff. You know what I mean? It'll be able to explain his origins a little bit better. It'll be able to P.S. money sign. So I'm excited. I'm very excited for AntMan, which is 2 weeks away. But that basically wraps up Marvel and DC news for the week. There was really nothing big that came out of the week besides the Justice League. It was the Justice League, put it that way. That movie's going to have everything. It's going to be amazing. But yeah, and also Marvel news. I hope they can get Iron Fist under the way. And they haven't even cast an Iron Fist yet. They cast Spider-Man, but I'm more concerned with how they're going to get Iron Fist, because I really want to see Iron Fist. He's one of my favorite superheroes, so I'm very excited for that. But yeah, it'll be cool. So yeah, Ant-Man 2 weeks. That's the news for that week. Let's see if we got anything gaming news other than that. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth is coming to North America. I don't really care. Let's see. Oh, the PS4, PS3 again experiencing PSN issues. That got an update. That wasn't too bad. Let me check on the Batman PC. Batman Arkham Knight PC. Oh, that was a big thing. Switching over to gaming. Apparently, Warner Brothers knew that Arkham Knight was experiencing a major PC issues, and yet they just decided to release the game otherwise. I understand you guys love money and you guys want money. I get it. It's a business world. It's money, 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 money. But why would you go out and know that there's issues for the PC when PC gaming is huge nowadays and just decide to throw it out there? Well, you can't buy Batman Arkham. You can't even buy it for the PC right now. Pulled it from digital and physical shelves last week after players found out PC had performance issues. I will say it's pretty rich for WWE to act like they had no idea that the game was in such a horrible state. They did, and they did nothing about it. It's so dumb. You guys are stupid. Even the PC, it's available for freaking $24 by Games Deals. Jesus. But it had major PC issues, and they knew about it for months and just decided to release it. Now you gotta make Rocksteady look like the bad guys, even though they're not. It's freaking stupid. Entitled Batgirl. Oh, and speaking of which, the Batman Arkham Knight, we'll get into that. We'll get into the more of the story later. I'll give my full review and probably a different video. But I also have completed the main storyline. I'm doing a bunch of side missions. I'm like 60% of the way through it right now, and I'm just having so much fun with it. The first DLC for Batman, which is entitled Batgirl: A Matter of Family, which is Barbara Gordon's story. Yes, they went with Barbara Gordon as Batgirl. That can be no... I mean, they already showed the ending to how freaking Batgirl. She gets shot. It's going to be costs $6.99 in North America. It's not bad. $7 for a story pack. But it better have me playing in some of the city. I will not be happy if I don't get to play in the city. I will be very upset if I don't get to play in the city. I love the city aspect, and I want to be able to run around as a different character besides Batman. A little alarming that, and I don't mean to sound like a jerk, but a little alarming that they wouldn't let me play as a different character going on the city. At least in Arkham City, I got to go around as Catwoman, but I can't even play as anybody else in this game. It was also upsetting to see that there wasn't any like special surprises. Besides the Joker, which was a pleasant surprise, I also did see who the Arkham Knight was, which I was kind of upset about. Was hoping for something different, but I'll get into that later. Was actually pretty upset that they didn't throw like an extra Justice League member in there somewhere. I was kind of hoping for a bigger game like this, that they would have maybe thrown in somebody special. You don't even have to throw in Superman. You can throw in anybody from the Justice League. Hell, I would have even taken Aquaman. If you had told me Aquaman came up and just freaking helped out a little bit, I would have been like, cool, Aquaman's in the game, even though he's not like a super... Even the Blue Beetle. Have somebody in there. Arrow, the Flash, any of those people. They're big right now. Yet you don't put anybody in the game. That kind of upset me a little bit. This game, I mean, trust me, the game is very good, but I always love Arkham City just a little bit more. Arkham City just felt like a little bit more complete game, and it just had so many surprises and so many of my favorite villains in there. I mean, Bane wasn't even in this one. What? Where's Bane? Bane should have been in here. It's like a boss battle or something, and he just wasn't. That would have been cool. I mean, you have the darker aspect of it, and you don't have anybody. Oh boy. But yeah, I loved it. I still think it's a great game. I still think it's worth the full price of the game. If anybody's interested, you should definitely go out and get it. And if you don't have the next gen system, definitely go out for the PS4 bundle right now, because if you do it and take your picture with it, you could have an opportunity of winning a custom Batmobile, which is freaking sweet. Who wouldn't love a custom Batmobile? I'd love to come around and be like, oh yeah, custom Batmobile, check me out, mofos. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That was pretty cool. No, it is pretty cool. I'm making no sense today. I'm sorry. I'm just not myself. There's nothing to go off of. There's nobody here. Not even my girlfriend. She's off somewhere. Sorry, not my girlfriend. Mid-lady. I can't even make fun of Scott with the whole askew thing, because there's nobody here. It's just me. Just me. So, yeah. If you're interested, what do you want now? Stupid. But, sorry for that. I'll edit that out. I mean, there's really nothing else that was big this week. I'm trying to go through all my news pages and everything, trying to look through to see if there's anything worth really talking about, because I want to be able to bring some news with you guys. Oh, yeah. I'm also very excited. ComicCon is going to be starting soon. ComicCon is going to be starting soon, which is going to be freaking sweet. I can't wait to see what they bring to Comic-Con, which will be very exciting. I love Comic-Con. I love Comic-Con. I am very excited. Hopefully DC brings some good stuff. I want DC to definitely bring some excellent stuff this week. every Riddler trophy location. Wow, I'm gonna need to look that up. These Riddler trophies are hard. That's gonna be good. I gotta save that page. So, yeah, I'm very excited for ComicCon. Will that be in our progress? Will that be in our show? ComicCon, 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 ComicCon. ComicCon, ComicCon, ComicCon. Wednesday, July 8th. Oh, so we'll definitely... which will be exciting. We'll probably bring probably won't get to it this week, but everything that comes out the week after, we'll probably get to you guys, which is really cool. So I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited. I fucking love Comic-Con. E3 brought so many cool things. I'm excited to see what they're gonna bring for like comic-wise and everything. And I know Marvel is. God, it smells like a skunk. Yeah, I think there's a skunk. Wanted me to bring up. So yeah, I'm very excited. Comic-Con is gonna be cool. Like I said, I want less DC stuff. I know Marvel's comics, they're actually readable comics, are gonna have some cool stuff. And I am very excited for that. So, if you guys are worried about the Marvel movie news and everything, I know they're not going to be there. I know for a fact that they're going to be at D23. So, Scott is chatting me right now. Scott is chatting me. He's wishing all you guys a good luck right now. So he's chatting me right now, and he's also having a fun time. Yeah, everything he's like, all I can think of is stuff pertaining to Arkham Knight, but I think that's all I got. I think you've got that covered. No, I'm like a huge Batman fan, and he's thinking I don't have the fucking Arkham Knight covered. Jesus Christ, Scott. Any brony things? Anything? Nothing? You're so annoying. I have nothing to go off of. I'm so lonely. In music news, I actually just found a really cool Def Leppard CD for $9. It was The Vault, and I've been looking for it for like a couple of weeks, so I'm very excited for that. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a full review of the Arkham Knight probably later on this week, even though it's Friday. I'll probably have a review of Arkham Knight within the next couple of days or something like that. So definitely be willing to check that out, which is cool. What is my camera saying? Alright, cool. I'm doing good. I'm doing good on time. Doing good on time. So, I guess we can bring that to the next segment of our thing. I recently said on our Facebook page I might be doing a little bit like of a little mini biopic, little biopic, maybe a little Q&A. And I've been kind of trying to get everyone on Facebook to kind of just send me some questions about my stuff and about anything they want me to know, anything they want me to answer, anything like that. So, I did gaming as well, Scott. Nothing happened this week. Nothing happened this week. So I definitely will. Let's start with the questions in the Q&A because I'm also interested. One of my buddies, Mike, he came out to me and was giving me a few questions. So let's get right off the bat what he wanted me to answer. Let me pull up my phone here. not very good at this show. I'm not very good at this by myself. There's nothing to go off of. There's nothing to go off of. So let's start off with he wanted me to just basically, he was asking me just basic questions like, you know, what's your favorite game? That's when I told him to go fuck himself. Because how can you decide on something like that? Your favorite game of all time? Out of everything that there's ever been gaming-wise, I'd probably have to go with Arkham City. I know it's in recent Batman news, everyone's like, well, you're just picking Arkham City because of Arkham Knight and everything. No. Personally, I think... Personally, I just think it's a really good game. I think it's a very complete game, along with a lot of the great villains that I love, and I was able to bring to life my Batman like nobody's ever seen. You know, if we had gotten an Avengers movie like that, it would have been awesome. So, I freaking love Arkham City. If I could get it for the PS4, I would pay full price again for it. It was that good of a game. I would love to figure out everything, because that was actually one of the games I actually 100%ed, was Arkham Knight. It was not Arkham Knight, Arkham City. Arkham City was just so good. There was Ra's al Ghul, there was Mr. Freeze. God, that game was so good! Ugh, freaking love that game. It was so awesome. Favorite TV show? I hate you. Freaking hate you. Favorite TV show. Favorite TV show. Favorite TV show. Favorite TV show. Gosh, that's a good one. What was my favorite TV show? Everyone's always going to go with like the basics, like, you know, everyone's going to go with like Breaking Bad. I know Breaking Bad was a really good show. Man, my favorite TV show. Batman the Animated Series. That old show always... Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. My favorite show of all time was the old school Power Rangers. The very first Power Rangers was so absurd that it was just so amazing. I loved Power Rangers. I never took my eye off as it. But I loved Power Rangers. It was so good. Like, I love Goldar. If anybody could find me a Goldar shirt, I would love for you to point that out to me, because I would need to buy it. Goldar was one... I loved Goldar more than Rita Repulsa. To me, Goldar was more of that, like, scary, like, villainous type person. I definitely think if he tried to go off as a villain, as a major villain by himself, he could definitely do that. Not only could he, like, be small, but he could also be one of the giant monsters at times, which was really cool. And I love Power Rangers. The Green Ranger will always hold a favorite place in my heart. Jason David Frank, you are so cool. Actually, it's not even Jason David Frank, is it? It's... He's on my Facebook page. Hold on. I'm sorry about this. Yes, Scott. I know, Scott. I'm alone. It's so lonely. Jason David Frank. I did have it right. Jason David Frank. He's been doing a lot of Green Ranger stuff, which is really cool. I love Jason David Frank. And I think he was definitely the best Power Ranger in my eyes. I didn't really like the White Ranger as much. I was more of like a hardcore, solid Green Ranger type person. When he became good, and he was just the Green Ranger he was fighting, it was the Six Rangers and the Dragon Sword. Oh my god, that was my favorite show. That was my favorite show back in the day. love the Power Rangers, in case anybody was trying to ask. Power Rangers was my favorite show. I loved Power Rangers. What else did he ask? Favorite movie? I hate you. Favorite movie? How could I possibly choose my favorite movie of all time? That's like picking my favorite color of all time. Well, that's blue. I guess it's not really that hard. Well, we can definitely cover more Arkham Knight and stuff like that with both parts of the game. I would think status update. I think status updates would be cool. We'll have a review soon. I'm 60% of the way through. Favorite movie? Jesus. Favorite movie? For a long time, I would have told you that it was Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction to me was just a perfect blend of like different stories combining into one. Them all having different stories. I would also tell you maybe Reservoir Dogs. I'm a big Quentin Tarantino fan. Reservoir Dogs was really cool. There's just a great story of who did it, and when you found out who did it, you were just kind of like nervous because you thought he was going to die. And it was a good movie. You should check it out. I personally, as of recent, I have to go with The Avengers. The Avengers to me was just a complete movie. They brought together all these superheroes, which hasn't been done before, but they brought together all these superheroes without animation. They brought together the superheroes into one group, and it just felt so real and so like it felt important and it felt important. Like it felt like it was actually happening before my eyes. So I was very excited for that. I love the Avengers. The first Avengers movie will always be my favorite movie. I could watch that time after time. Loki was awesome. Captain America was awesome. Every Avenger was awesome. It was just such a good movie. I would definitely recommend it to anybody. It deserves a higher grade on Rotten Tomatoes, for sure. But The Avengers is probably my favorite movie of all time. Hands down, Avengers. What are we going to next? Okay, so we also had some questions from Shelly because I was alone this weekend, so I figured I was like, ask me questions. Oh, true, yeah. Alright, so let's get started with this because I have it right in front of me. Are you going to be setting any fireworks off this year for the 4th of July? Unfortunately, no. I will be working tomorrow at my job because my job hates me and wants me to work all the time and wants me to be, you know, just this awesome guy, but at the same time, apparently I also need a lot of improving. Whatever. Unfortunately, I'll be at work, so I won't be able to enjoy any fireworks, but I can hear fireworks outside my apartment right now, so it means somebody's setting them off, so maybe I might go see that after I'm done with the video. So unfortunately. Have I seen The Gallows yet? If so, did you like it? How so would you? I have not seen The Gallows yet. I actually do not know what The Gallows is. That is an interesting question. Let me look that up. Oh, did I just really do that? What the fuck am I doing? The Gallows. I have not seen The Gallows. Is it good? The Gallows. When does it come out? The release date is July 10th. I have not seen it yet. Fruit of the Loom. I do not care. Get out of my way. The Gallows. I have not seen it, but I know there's a lot of people who do want to see it. I don't know. I have to actually look to see what it is. I will get to you. I will get back to you on that. July 10th. I have not seen The Gallows. So there goes it goes. I have not seen The Gallows, and I don't know if I'll see it. I like horror movies. I don't know. I'll get into horror movies later because I'll talk about my favorite genre movies. Let's keep going with questions. Here's a trivia one for you. Who was the very first actress that played the role of Catwoman? I do not know. That's a good question. That's a very good question. I have no idea who the first actress was to play Catwoman. I do not know who the first actress was to play Catwoman. But if I had to take a guess, I'd have to say Julie Newmar. Shit, I could not even keep myself from this funny stuff. I'm looking it up right now. I'm sorry, Shelly. I had no idea who the first Catwoman was. D&B was pretty epic a couple weeks ago. D&B was pretty... Oh, no, I'm not worried. Of course. Scott, I'm not worried about going to D&B right now. I'm worried about the show that I'm all by myself at. I just couldn't get a hold of anybody else. So I did not know the first actress to play that was Julie Newmar. It was from the 1966 version. 1960s Batman. I did not know that. That was interesting. Interesting question. I would love some more trivia questions to keep going. Just don't ask us in advance. Ask us the day of the show, like right in the middle of the show. This way we get caught off guard, which would be really interesting. Okay, let's keep going. I don't know if you mentioned this or not. My apologies. What was your very first gaming console? That is an easy one. My very first gaming console was Sega. I used to have a Sega, and I loved that thing. It still holds near and dear to my heart. I actually still also have some of the original games from my Sega. I loved that thing. I actually have my old Sega system from my thing. Actually, if you hold on, I can show you. Just give me a second, and I'll show you. Yes. This was my Sega Genesis. If you guys cannot tell, this was my Sega Genesis, and it was so cool. I loved Sega. I loved my Sega Genesis. I loved my games. I definitely played like Sonic and everything on it. I loved my Sega. I used to also have like fighting games on it. I loved it. And that was basically where I started gaming. And I unfortunately was one of the unlucky souls to not have a Nintendo 64 when it came out, and I was actually still playing Sega. Everyone's like, why aren't you up to date on this? It even took forever for me to get an Xbox 360. I don't come from a very privileged background. Because I'm doing the show by myself. Myself. So that was definitely my very first gaming console. I loved my Sega Genesis. I can't even begin to tell you the fun I used to have with it. Sega, was it Sonic. I loved Sonic back then. So yeah. How about handheld gaming console? I was unfortunately. I was one of the lucky ones to have a Game Boy Color when it very first came out. I used to have a purple Game Boy Color. It was awesome. And my very first game was Pokemon. I loved Pokemon. I believe I had the blue version. I wanted blue because I'm more of a Blastoise lover than Charizard. I love me some Blastoise. I loved Pokemon Red and Blue. I'm hoping that they do a remake of Red and Blue. Actually, I'm more or less hoping for a remake of Gold and Silver as well. Those are like the best games in the series. I know everyone's like, well, you know, there's recent games and they're good as well, but nothing can hold near and dear to my heart. I had Silver for the Game Boy Color, and I also have my lady's Game Boy. She actually found her original Game Boy Color, and I've been replaying the games, and it's so much fun. It's so much better than some of the games now. So, sweet. I loved that. So, I was lucky enough to have a Game Boy Color, and I've had every handheld system ever since then. I also have my 3DS XL, which I also paid money for, which was not easy to get on, but I also got it on sale. In an order from gaming consoles, I actually went from... I had a Sega. My cousin did have an N64, so I was able to play N64. Super Mario 64 will always hold near and dear to my heart. And Mario Kart. Oh god, Mario Kart for the 64. I used to love playing that. And then from that, I went to a PlayStation 2. One of my favorite games I've ever played on that was Spyro, the original Spyro. speaking of which, that was actually one of the greatest trolls in that game. Everyone's like, well, it's so awkward. It's so... yeah, he was one of the original trolls on that game, and I fucking hate it. Was that egg thief, and oh my god, he was so annoying. He was a more difficult boss, he was more of a difficult, like, mini boss than freaking Nasty Nort. Yes, I remember, Nasty Nort was the original villain, and he was a tough, but I remember fighting him, and I was just like, wow. But that egg thief, my god, I hated that guy. He was so annoying. Every time he grabbed that egg, he'd just be running around the corner and be like, nah, 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 nah. Even when you like get right next to him, you'd be like right near him and you'd do a head charge and he'd just be like, you'd be like, son of a motherfucker, oh god. He was just so annoying, god. I'll have to post a picture of like the best egg thief videos from that. But yeah, and then after the PlayStation 1, I went from the PlayStation 1 to the PS2. That was a great gift from my parents. And yes, we went to the PlayStation 3. So I've kind of had the Sony way all the way up, but I didn't really use the PS3 a whole lot because I had an Xbox 360. I actually jumped off board for a little bit. So I guess I'm more of a Sony fanboy if you think about it. Wow, I've had every single PlayStation. Oh, Sony, you got a fan. I do love my PS3. I do love my PS3, so I'm very, sorry, I love my PS4 that I have now, which cost money, but it was totally worth it. So, yes, I'm very excited for that. And I love gaming in general. But like you said, we're more of just a gaming show. We also have movies and TV and stuff, so I definitely want to bring more stuff to you guys when I have the opportunity to. And who knows, maybe I'll have special guests as the time goes on, so hopefully if everything goes right, that would be cool. I know I also said I might do a little biopic. Gotta go. Show is wrapping up. I also said I might do a little biopic, and I guess I have time to do a little bit of a biopic, so we'll see there. One of the big questions I get is why I'm doing this show. So, let me close out of this. I'm gonna get deep here. The reason I'm doing this show is, for a career choice, I have decided that I wanted to go with being a director. And that has its own complications. Back when I was younger, I didn't really have like the best upbringing. My parents, I both love them, and I hope nothing ever happens to them. You know, they raised me, they taught me everything they could before I went out on my own. Especially my mother. I love my mother. She deserves everything in the world, and she's a wonderful person, and she's a wonderful mother. My dad, on the other hand, has a little bit of a complicated background. So basically, I wanted to go to the path of being a director. When I was younger, not having like always known what was going on, I used to fall back on like TV. TV was one of my big things, and you know, I used to watch shows, I used to watch movies, and I really loved movies. I love TV shows. I used to do a lot of drawing, and then I would also try to make up my own stories. And I also do a lot of freelance writing now, which hopefully one day that can get published. I would love for my stories to get published. So, when I was younger, I used to love movies, and I loved the magic and the imagination that used to come. I mean, I'm saying that now, but back then I was just so like fascinated by it. I loved watching that stuff, and I loved being a part of it. I want to bring that own magic to other people. And I'm not trying to say, this kid had a complicated past, so now he's going to show himself through art and everything. I show myself pretty well. I express myself pretty well. And I let everyone else know how I'm doing and what I'm feeling and stuff. But, that being said, I fell in love with it, and I fell in love with entertaining people. I like making people laugh, even though people have told me, you should go out and be a comedian. I'm not very good at stage things, which is why it's weird for me to be on camera, because I'm not used to being out there in the public eye. So, I just love movies, and I love TV shows. I love telling a story. I think it's so important nowadays for people to experience what it's like to actually tell a story and actually, use imagination to tell somebody else a different story. It's so important to have an imagination, and I hate people nowadays who tell their kids, you shouldn't daydream, you shouldn't do this stuff, you should focus. We've become so entranced in the business world that we just want the kids to just grow up and become government lovers and everything, even though the government, myself, is not the best run thing right now. We tell these kids to not do this stuff and to really focus, be like, you can't always daydream. Why not? I love daydreaming. I've loved the person that I've turned into because I chose not to get rid of my imagination. I love that my parents always told me, you should be dreaming, you should be doing this stuff. And I want to show them that this is what some of my dreams are. And, but that comes with another complicated past. So, I have gone to school, and I am actually going back to school for filming, which I'm very excited for. Hopefully I can get the skills to just bring everybody the stories that I've written to life and to show everybody. I have gone to school before, and this is more or less where it comes into deep. I used to have an interesting ex who wasn't very nice to a lot of my friends and family, which hurt a lot because my family and my friends are very important to me, and I like to show off my significant other to everybody, and I kind of lost my friends and family for a while, and I was just really not thinking with my head. Luckily for me that they took me back, and they love doing this stuff with me now, so I'm very excited to keep them on this journey. But basically, I went to school for something I really wasn't in love with. I was doing it because I was told, well, this is something you should be preparing yourself for life for, and I'm just hearing the backlash of people who don't make it and people who are always trying to make it. I feel like, that shouldn't be a discouragement. You should be telling your kids, even though there's failure in the world, you should never give up on your dreams. This is your dream. You have one life. One life to actually make something of yourself. I don't want to spend my life doing something that I was just told, well, this will make you successful. I mean, and trust me, don't think of myself as a terribly smart person, but I know the difference between right and wrong. I have a good sense of, I have a good common sense. I may not be the best with words, but I have a great common sense. And just because I'm not like the best, I may not be the best at math or English or something like that, doesn't mean that I'm not a smart person. I'm actually a pretty smart person. I just choose not to dedicate myself to one thing, except for what my dreams are. I was just told that I should do this, and I did, and I went out and I tried to finish school, and it just felt like it wasn't for me. I have my own thoughts about school, but I'll get to that in a second. But it just felt like it wasn't me, and I felt uncomfortable there. Going on to that topic of schools, just as a side story, I have a personal belief that colleges and universities, education itself is really not where it should be in life. I don't believe education is very strong in this country. And I think everything nowadays is just based off of memory skills. And that's unfortunately a sad truth. If you look at schools now and you just have to do worksheets, you don't feel entranced by anybody. Nobody wants to be there because nobody just wants to do this. You don't make the classroom interesting. The teachers don't get one-on-one with you and try to make you feel special. They don't try to make the whole group, the class, feel as one. They're just being told what to do. And I'm not saying that's the teacher's fault. Teachers are given assignments that they're supposed to do so people can just be moved along and brought up. Same thing with colleges. I feel like colleges and universities are two of the biggest scams nowadays. It's literally two of the biggest scams, and it's sad. I've even had two professors from two separate colleges come out and tell me in their class that I've paid for, college is a scam. What does that say about our country? What does that say, especially in the light of the 4th of July weekend, what does that say about our country? I mean, this was based off of freedom to do whatever you want, and I feel like there's no more freedom. I feel like basically everything is just you live in fear, and if you don't become successful in life, you have a failure of a life. That's not true. I see plenty of people who are happy with nothing. I can't accept that. I'm like, wow, this is sad, and now people just want money from me, and people are always looking for stuff, and it's no longer fun. I don't like colleges. I will do what I have to get ahead in life, but I just have that personal belief that you shouldn't have to go to school to make your dreams come true. You shouldn't have to go to school to do this or to do that. You should do what you want to do and just go forward with that. Why do I have to take, another thing of that, why do I have to take the same classes that I did in high school? That makes no sense. I don't know. It's just my personal belief. But anyways, while going to school, I had a bad breakup. It was really hard. I was with this girl for three years, and I was actually getting to the point where I was like, maybe I'm probably gonna marry her, and it was just a serious thought. And just one day, she just stopped talking to me, and as a good person, I was trying to reach out to them, and she basically just came out a week later over the phone and broke up with me. It was over the phone too. She didn't have the common decency to come see me in person. I understand there may be mixed emotions there, and she personally didn't like my outlash, but what did you want me to do? I was pissed. I just spent 3 years with a person who I was actually getting serious about, who just made me lose basically a lot of my family and friends, and just left, only to come out to find out a month later that she left me for somebody else, that she was basically cheating on me for. And I just had that realization of like, wow, this hurts. I couldn't believe it. I'm not trying to, I'm in no way, shape, or form am I putting down this person. But how fucking shitty of a person do you have to be to do that to somebody? Especially somebody you're with for 3 years. I was so hurt. And I just said to myself, I'm like, what am I doing with my life? And that's basically where I paused and I was like, what am I doing? So I said to myself, you know what, enough sulking around. I want to go with what my dream is. And my dream is to bring entertainment to people. My dream is to not even be somebody that's known, but to be somebody that can bring joy to others and say, hey, what this guy did was actually really cool, and he deserves something for that. And that's basically what I want to do. And I thought to myself, I'm like, well, cool, I can't really act, but I would love to be a director. So I am going to go to school and try to get my degree so I can just put myself out there. I just want to start this. And which brings me back to why I'm doing this show. I really just want to put my name out there, and I want people to know who I am and what my goals are, who I am as a person, and why I'm here. And I'm very excited to just try to do this and just try to put my name out there and really try to have a face to the name, you know? So, but it's not all bad. Recently it's been going good. That's where it brought in Milady, and she is like probably the most wonderful person I've ever met. She gets me on every level. She understands my dreams and actually wants me to pursue my dreams. She may be hesitant at times, but she actually wants me to pursue my dreams, which makes me feel good, and nobody's going to stand in my way. I'm going to do what it takes to be able to pursue my dream and make it a reality. I only have one life at this, so I want to make my life worth something. So that's my basic goal. And yeah, it's not an easy subject to talk about. It always makes me scared for the future because people don't understand people's dreams, and you know, people don't understand why this person doing this, why don't they get a job, they're just being lazy. And I'm not lazy. I have a career choice that I want to do, and as impossible as it may seem, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to become something someday, and that's what I believe in. I have great ideas, and that's where I want to go with that. So, maybe if we're lucky, maybe I'll start a Kickstarter to try to get one of my series underground. I love more or less telling stories, so I definitely want to go with more of like the Netflix kind of series route, where I can just produce a show that tells a super long movie. I don't want to tell a story in 2.5 hours. I want to be able to tell it over time and see characters progress and see where the story goes after that. But yeah, that's kind of like a little mini biopic about me. It's where I'm basically trying to go with the show. If anyone else wants to know just a little bit side stuff, I am 25. I know some people might guess that I'm older, but I am older or younger, but I am 25. I'm middle of the way there. 25, I'm going to be 26 soon. 25, I'm 6'1", I'm not very lean, but, you know, I'm funny and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, that's basically what I want to do in life, and I wanted to share that with you guys and just kind of give a little insight into my life and what I want to do with it. So, I hope you guys try to come and help support me and really try to push me to pursue my dreams. So yeah, I hope that was informative to you, and I hope I gave everyone a little bit insight into my life. So with that being said, I guess we'll wrap up this week's show. I know it kind of ended on a little bit of a sad note, but trust me, it's going to end on a great note next week. So, and plus we'll have Scott back next week, so it'll be very exciting. So yeah, I'm very excited about that, and thank you guys for listening. And if you don't like this part of the show, I'm sorry about it. I figured it would be fun to bring that in. So yeah, thank you guys for listening, and until next week, I am Dan, and this is everyone else. Nobody there. Alright, whatever guys. I'll see you guys next week, and thank you for watching.